EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Picking him up live now at the 10th.
Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
No, when you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, it turns out all right.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. See if you can get this one to drop. Big birdie putt. Setting himself up for a good weekend, the wily golf instructor makes his birdie. Par 4-11, Frank, we're looking at 443 yards.
Yeah, the Wetlands Golf Course is a really good driving course. This is another example here, Rich, where the fairway's just wide enough to reward a good tee shot, and then those two bunkers don't really come into play. But Wetlands becomes very difficult when you just start to stray a little bit off the fairway. Then you start to see why those bunkers are put there.
Second shot, good look at the green. Good chance at one. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
Yeah, and things are starting to tighten up right now. Going to see where the next move comes from.
Stepping up to the tee at the first par 5 on this back nine. It's the 12th, and it is 576 yards.
Yeah, this hole bends to the right, opposite direction to what 11 does. A good tee shot, and you can actually think about reaching this par 5 and 2, but anything around the front or front left, still going to leave a relatively simple pitch shot. So when you stand on that tee, think of birdie at least here.
Frank, this really is a remarkable turn of events, considering that earlier we had pretty much written him off.
Well, we had, and for good reason, too. Was not playing well. It looked like the round was going to continue to go in that direction. But somehow, and believe me, I don't know how, he's just completely turned this round around.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Now the second shot to the par 5. Tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Strong wind here early in the round. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Now to the par 4 13th. Frank, what are the options here?
Well, another straight one required here, Rich. It's 450. It's not overly long in today's standard, but still, that fairway widens up where the longer hitters will actually hit. And bunkers, once again, short of a green. So as long as you can fly that second shot to at least the front of the green, then they really do not come into play. Oh, that's fine.
There are a number of really good and important grow the game initiatives out there. One of those is the First Tee program, and that allows youngsters who otherwise might not have an opportunity, the chance to put a golf club in their hands, allows them the chance to pick up this game and learn some of the core values that come along with it. It's about much more than making a score. It's about integrity. It is about responsibility, values like that. And this game is just so good in instilling those kind of characteristics in young people. Solid play, heart of the green. Locked in on the read and the speed. So, hanging in down the stretch with a par. Moving on to the tricky 14th here at the Wetlands. It's 204 yards, but there is plenty of trouble out there. I like the looks of this one. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Oh, I thought he had that. That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a two-putt, well done.
Just a couple of feet. Showing no signs of weakness. That's a good putt right there. Stays at 4 under. The last par 5 on this golf course is the 15th. It's 590 yards. You think, Frank, this is the time to be aggressive?
Certainly is. Longer hitters must be licking their chops on this par 5. 300-plus yard tee shot, you can definitely get home. Shorter hitters, just set it up for a nice wedge shot. But if you are going to go at this par 5 and 2, well protected by those 3 bunkers.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Second shot.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
You'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
It is just an ideal day for golf. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We're getting set for all the action this afternoon at Wetlands Golf and Country Club in Florida. And this is certainly a challenge, Frank.
It is. We really should rename it Drylands because that's the way you want to play this golf course. If you're not dry, then you are going to be wet. That swampland is just all the way around this golf course. In between it, though, is fairway. So fairway, the goal all day today.
And as always, with the state of Florida, you have to factor in the changing winds. Par 4 sixth here at the Wetlands, 440 yards and water to deal with.
Two choices here, Rich. Lay it up short of the wetlands, or, well, chance it, brave enough, tee it up and flash it across the wetlands to just a mere short iron into this lengthy par 4. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
Gave that the full treatment. Get up.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital A.
Busted that. Now, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Not too bad, about 25 feet away. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good par. Here's another scoring opportunity, Frank. A par 5. The 7th is just a shade under 600 yards.
And it bends gently to the left, Rich. Longer hitters can obviously get home, and nothing really to be worrying about with that second shot if you can reach. The wetlands are well to the right of this hole for the second shot. But if you want to play to the 3-shotter, then that's a very safe, conservative way and really shouldn't cause you any problems whatsoever. I'm loving that balance.
And from that position, a good chance to get at this hole location at number 7. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Safely aboard. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And with that birdie, moves into second place. On to the 8th. It's a par 3, 203 yards. What's going on here, Frank?
Interesting par 3, really. It looks anything other than a straightaway hole. That bunker short of this green gives you like an optical illusion. You think it's lapping up with the front of this green, but there's actually sort of 3 or 4 yards before you get to the putting surface. A little bit of a drop-off behind this green, and it narrows out the deeper the green gets. So a tricky little par 3.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
With that birdie, moves one shot closer to the lead. Finishing up the front side here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club with a par 5, 621 yards.
Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Jordan Spieth, we have seen it, Frank. He is capable of catching fire. He's on the move, only a couple of shots back of the lead. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
This is a good-looking shot. That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole, and the lead, Frank, is very much intact. Par 411, Frank, we're looking at 443 yards.
Yeah, the Wetlands Golf Course is a really good driving course. This is another example here, Rich, where the fairway's just wide enough to reward a good tee shot, and then those two bunkers don't really come into play. But Wetlands becomes very difficult when you just start to stray a little bit off the fairway. Then you start to see why those bunkers are put there.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Chance to get it close here. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look. For birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Clean this up with a tap. That's a solid par putt.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
Now to the fifth hole here at the Wetlands. Par 5, 635 yards. A lot going on here, Frank.
The shorter hitters don't really worry about the swampland on the left because it really only cuts in to worry the longer hitters if you want to try and reach this par 5 and 2. So shorter hitters, 2 good shots, set up a wedge shot. Longer hitters, are you straight enough to hit it into the narrowest part of the fairway?
Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, when you look at great rivalries in sports, you realize that athletes need each other. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to achieve greatness, to achieve legendary status. And in golf, Tom Watson needed Jack Nicklaus to push him to another level.
And also to define an era. Without one, we couldn't think of the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s. You need those players to define that era. So you need competition. Competition is not without rivalry.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. This can be a cruel game at times. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot.
Frank, you've been there. Good spot to be.
Yeah, second place, just on it on the heels. Moving forward, game looks in good shape. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big. Wow, Frank, I mean, he put the thumb down on that one.
And kept it going, too. To mash that down like that, that's the air time, the hang time he got out. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie.
Even par currently.
Bang for another birdie. 8 under par for the tournament. Here at the par 5 7th at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club, 592 yards.
took off the face. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. Generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
And with that birdie, tied at the top.
8th hole here at the Wetlands, par 3, 203 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, actually, but you have to have a little look at your yardage book because that front bunker will make this hole look a little shorter to the eye than actually what it plays. Green gets a little narrow as it gets deeper, but flat and, well, I wouldn't say easy. 3 here, not too bad.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching 2 tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
The 9th hole, Frank, is a muscular par 5, 621 yards.
You see why length is a huge advantage of this golf course, just under 7,700 yards. This hole here, another example, good tee shot, perhaps think of going for the par 5 and 2, but a great collection of 3 bunkers that sort of annoy you with your layup there. Got to make sure you avoid all of those to leave yourself a nice little wedge shot in here if you can't reach it in 2. Second shot. That's fine.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Good lie in the fairway, a good chance to make something happen here. Frank, can one small tweak from an instructor lead to a big turnaround?
With the right player, yeah. You just want to hear the right message. It's like anyone in life. You just want to be pointed in the right direction.
Setting up for an approach shot here. On the green in regulation. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Score that, a birdie. Making our move to the home stretch, the 16th. It's a par 4 and a good one at 455 yards.
And a chance to actually get a good run for the clubhouse because holes are feeling short coming in. So good drive here, find the putting surface, really start the roll right here.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Par 3 17th, Frank, it's 238 yards.
There's still a chance for birdie here, though. Green shape's a little bit to the player's right, so a nice high draw coming in here. Even finding the middle of the putting surface will give you a chance to putt to really any position on this green.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
What a putt.
Just missed, Frank.
That's cruel.
So just a formality here.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Final hole here at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. It's par 4. It's not a long one, 377 yards. There must be some trouble out there somewhere.
Well, not really if you keep your wits about you. Just position the tee shot. You don't have to hit a driver down here. Even a 3-wood's only going to leave a short iron. If you hit 250, 260 yards, do the maths, it's only 120 yards left. With that, with a scoring club, try and get that inside 10, 15 feet. Finish with a birdie.
But if you stray, then what?
Oh, no. We don't think of straying on this hole. This is the last hole. Got to finish well.
But I'm thinking about gators. Are there gators out there?
Well, there's gator on the menu.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a great putt and a great win. Well, this is it, Frank, the 18th hole, and on paper, it looks like you can get this one. You can make a birdie because it's only 377 yards.
You're exactly right, Rich. Just a nice drive. Doesn't even have to be a driver here. It's going to set you up really short iron wedge into this short par 4. And, well, I always like to finish on a birdie. I know you do too, because a little walk to the clubhouse there on the left, maybe a hot dog or a hamburger.
you.